Hello, all of the supporters of Cabarrus Women's Center and U City Women's Center. We're so sorry we couldn't see you guys this year in person, but with all of the things going on with COVID and not knowing just how our governor was going to reopen our state, we felt it was in the best interest of the safety of all of you, as well as all of our staff, to not host a live event this year. I do want to give you a banquet update since we haven't seen each other, some of us, since last year. One thing that COVID has changed in a positive way for Cabarrus Women's Center and U City Women's Center is that we are busier than ever. We have had 3 local pregnancy centers that have not been able to operate. However, we have not had to reduce our hours whatsoever due to COVID. We have the Lake Norman Pregnancy Center as well as the Charlotte Pregnancy Center that are all referring their patients to us as they've experienced closures because of COVID. We've also surprisingly had several referrals come to us from Planned Parenthood, so we're thrilled to take their patients as well. But that has meant more patients for us, longer hours, and definitely a little bit more of an overwhelmed staff, so it's been all good changes. Another factor for our busyness is that last year at our banquet we told you about the launching of our Google Ads. We have successfully launched those ads and they are working really good because we are super busy. So we want to thank you guys for supporting that effort last year and to let you know that it's been successful. Now, one of the favorite parts that I always hear from everybody who has attended one of our banquet events is to actually see the video testimonies of some of our patients. So we definitely don't want you guys to miss out on that, and we do have some amazing testimony videos that we wanted to show you of a few of our patients.
Fear can be a really convincing thing that we deal with, a really convincing emotion. It can make you feel like you have no other options left when that really isn't the case.
And I just hadn't even really thought about keeping him. I was just like, no, this is what I have to do. I don't have any other option.
I got online and I decided to, look up I'm pregnant and what do I do kind of thing. And I found Cabarrus Women's Health and I made an appointment and they scheduled me one that day.
Because I didn't want to tell anybody about it. If I was gonna have an abortion, I was just gonna, he knew and that was the only person that was gonna know, and then I would never have to think about it.
After a few scheduled ultrasounds, just weekly checkups on the progress and of the pregnancy and everything, I remember I still had a lot of the same concerns and just so much fear. I was so scared, and I remember thinking I just felt cornered and by my situation, and it was just hard. It was so hard. And I remember feeling like not keeping the baby and going to a clinic and just having it taken care of would be easier and it would just make it go away. And so I decided to go, somewhere in Charlotte, seeking help for this. But shortly after I got home, I remember it was, laying there and trying to kind of distract myself from how I was feeling about, earlier that day being at the clinic and coming home, knowing that I'm supposed to take, this other round of pills. And I remember just laying in bed and thinking over and over, I should probably do that now. I should probably do that now. And then just not being able to do it. I remember at one of my earlier visits, one of the nurses had mentioned to me something about an abortion pill reversal process. And, in that moment, of course, I'm as scared as I was before that doesn't even compare to how scared I was. Here I am, now thinking, what have I done? And anyways, I remembered hearing, that nurse tell me about how there was a reversal process. And so I got on Google, and they connected me with someone, and that eventually led to a phone call from someone here. And they met with me at, I think it was 9 or 9:30 that night. And they got me the care that I needed. And so that was really life-changing.
After my last visit here, I knew I was going to keep him. So the first time I came in, I wasn't, because I've always felt a certain way about abortion, but then when it happens to you, when you get pregnant, it's a lot different. You sit there and you're like, well, this is what I have to do. I don't have a choice. So you guys really helped me, just made me feel not judged, and just only showed me love. And it was that's what I guess reminded me I have other options.
Whenever I got here, and I wasn't sure if the first pill had worked. I wasn't sure if the baby was still alive, if any of that could be changed or fixed. And I remember whenever we went back and had the ultrasound, there was the heartbeat. You could hear the heartbeat, and there was a wave of relief that came over me. And then seeing the baby move, and then seeing he had hiccups, and it was the sweetest thing that I've ever seen.
I love him more than anything. I really didn't think, I thought eventually I would have kids, but I never realized how much you could love something.
Making these services, such as having your pregnancy test or the ultrasounds, the meeting with an advocate and talking to them, that made, all the way up to the reversal process, that made all the difference in how my story turned out. And without that, I have no idea what we would do or what I would have done. It really did. It changed the course of my life because they were here and they provided the services that they did. I don't know if I would have a little boy on the way right now if they weren't.
So at this year's banquet, we were going to have a special musical guest, Phil King, who has written a pro-life song called You Are Not Forgotten. I want you to hear just a few words from Phil as he does plan to be with us next year.
Hey guys, my name is Phil King, and I am a songwriter and worship pastor, and I am based out of Gateway Church. Last year in late January of 2019, I wrote a song in response to Governor Cuomo's laws that were passed with late-term abortion bills. And it's called Not Forgotten, and you can look it up and punch my name in and it'll pop up, or you may have already heard it. And I was really looking forward to coming to the event this year to play that song and share my heart for it, my heart for pregnancy centers. And anyways, this song, it just kind of blew up, and it was over a lot of media and news outlets, and it was really amazing. And still today, God is using it to save lives, rescue children, and touch people's hearts and politicians' hearts and leaders' hearts, and encourage people who are really on the front lines of pro-life work. And I was really wanting to share that song with you guys this year, and I'm so sorry that I can't be there and that the event, has changed a little bit. But I'm really looking forward to hopefully being there with you guys next year. And I just want to encourage you as you're watching this to give to the Cabarrus Women's Center. Like I said, there are just people who are really on the front lines of saving human life, of saving children, of saving those who don't have a voice for themselves. And that's why I wrote the song that I wrote, and that's why I believe in this type of work and what's happening here. is we are really doing what Scripture says. We are being a voice to the voiceless, and we're standing up for those who cannot stand up for themselves. And I believe that this place is having an impact and is on the forefront of fighting for life. And so God bless you guys. Please give to the organization, and hope to see you there next year. Bye.
With all of the busyness that we've experienced this year, last year we told you guys that our goal was to save 375 babies. Since we have 2 more months left, we've done some looking at our statistics, and we are on track over the next couple of months to meet that goal, right at 372 babies. So we're just gonna believe that we're gonna reach that 375 this year. But we're so thankful to you guys for the constant support, because it costs Cabarrus Women's Center approximately $600 total to save 1 baby. So if you do the math on that, $600 times 375 babies that we're saving every year, that's what the need is. Now this year, without having a live event, it's a little more tricky for us to gather that support, and this event that we're not able to have this year funds 3/4 of our annual budget. So it's extremely important that we still are able to get the support through this event. So the way it's gonna work this year is those who have been to our event in the past few years probably remember a book that looks much like this. We are still putting together our book. It will have ministry updates as well as sponsor ads, and we will be mailing that out to you guys along with our pledge form. So if you haven't received it already, please be on the lookout for it in the mail, and you can just fill out your pledge sheet and mail it in to us, and then we'll be able to successfully launch into the next year and look at expanding our hours and getting a second ultrasound machine in our university center. What we're asking people to do, especially if you've been to our banquet before, is just pledge whatever it is that you pledged last year or the last banquet that you were able to be at. So if you said, yes, I want to save 1 baby last year, and you pledged $600 throughout the year, whether it's in mail-in or bank draft or credit card draft, monthly or quarterly, we're just asking if our supporters would do the same so that we can continue the super important work that we're doing at U City and also in Concord at Cabarrus Women's Center. Like I said, guys, I'm so sorry we can't meet in person, but I thank you so much for keeping us going, and I just wanted to give you a quick update. And we are on next year at Embassy Suites September 30th. We had to move back to September, but it is a Thursday night, so we will see you then. Thank you so much.